Happy holidays, everybody, and Tony here with a tribute to a Christmas special from a franchise that I've been holding so dearly to my heart. I'm talking about the Nutcracker Scoob from the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, which aired on ABC on December 1, 1984. This also served as the first Christmas episode of the Scooby-Doo franchise, as well as the series finale to the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. This was directed by Oscar Dufault, Rudy Zamora, and Ray Patterson, and it was written by Charles M. Howell and Tom Ruegger. As I stated before, Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine Gang were the very characters I have been adoring ever since I was a little boy, thanks to them spearheading my interest in mystery cartoons. They were also the guys who made me enjoy every mystery or case they had, every bad guy they unmasked, and every spook that they got themselves into. Whether it was Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, the new Scooby-Doo movies, the new Scooby-Doo show, the Scooby and Scrappy-Doo Mysteries, the new Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show, the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies of the 90s, as well as What's New Scooby-Doo, in which I will gladly talk about its Christmas episode after this. Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Velma, Fred, Daphne, and even Scrappy-Doo managed to play an integral role in my childhood as someone who loves mystery cartoons, and they were also the guys who put a lot of fun in mystery solving, which was an absolute joy and blessing. I remember tuning into the Nutcracker Scoob on Cartoon Network ever since I was a lad of 6 years old, and ever since then, I even remembered enjoying it. Everything about this particular Christmas special was filled to the brim with the usual Scooby-Doo mystery solving, thus adding in a lot of fun and a lot of excitement, though it does follow the standard formula of Scooby-Doo mystery solving, and even a lot of joy that I managed to get from tuning into this episode. And to this day, rewatching this as a grown-up, that feeling of joy and fun that I had with this Christmas special still managed to hold up very well. And even though I do have a bit of a problem with the Scooby-Doo franchise being kind of monotonous and stale in terms of how each mystery needs to be solved and there are clues that need to be gathered as well as the bad guys being unmasked, I can forgive that caveat as there is still a whole lot of nostalgic value in Scooby-Doo with the Mystery Gang. The first highlight from this particular Christmas special was the opening song, Deck the Halls, in which there are also additional lyrics being put in, such as Freddy putting up the Christmas tree, Scooby-Doo entering from the cold, and all the gang, as well as the kids from the orphanage pitching in to create tonight's Christmas pageant performance. Everything seems to go swimmingly well, that is until the arrival of the Ebenezer Scrooge XP, Winslow Nickleby, who intends to close down the orphanage. This causes trouble for the kids of the orphanage, Miss Featherwig, as well as the Mystery Machine Gang, as preparations have already been made. The preparations have been unfortunately interrupted by the presence of the Ghost of Christmas Never. This ghost intends to not only ruin the play, but also steal a very valuable treasure found within one of the ornaments in the Christmas tree. And there's one integral clue that spurs the gang on into realizing who could have done such a thing, and that is a lapel that reveals the initials of WN, automatically assumed to be Winslow Nickleby. Combining the mystery about to be solved as well as all the preparations necessary for the Christmas pageant, the gang find themselves in a whole lot of madcaps, such as Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy disguising themselves as elves and telling the Ghost of Christmas Never that it is going to get presents from Santa if it's going to stay good, which I thought was an absolutely fun moment, and all the chasing that occurs within this particular episode. It also comes to a head when the cookies are being baked by Nickleby's baker, Miss Muffinstuffin, especially since the maid, Nanette, is obsessively dusting Freddy. And yes, she does seem nice and sweet, but that excessive dusting makes her seem kind of eccentric in a way. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy even find a will from Winslow Nickleby, thus stating that the treasure is hidden in the star of the Christmas tree. And the gang assume that it is the star hidden in the attic. But when they open it, they realize that there's absolutely nothing. That does not stop them from the preparations about to be made. Even Nanette, who is obsessively dusting all the guests as well as collecting tickets, as Mr. Nickleby's cat, Snowball, ends up shredding her duster to smithereens. The biggest highlight of this particular Christmas pageant is without a doubt the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, done by Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy, alongside Tiny Tina, as well as Fred as the Nutcracker Prince. And in this beautifully hot mess of an aerial ballet, Mr. Nickleby unceremoniously interrupts it because Mr. Nickleby has realized that the treasure, which is an emerald, is not hidden in the Christmas star, but rather the Nutcracker doll. And amidst the scuffle that Mr. Nickleby had with Fred, at least the ballet ended up going rather well despite it being a hot mess, with the gang bowing down and Scrappy stating to us, the audience, "We'll be right back." And Daphne also got the memo, as the Nutcracker doll truly had the emerald, which the ghost of Christmas Never ended up snatching it, and the chase ensues. And the chase is definitely the best moment of this particular special, considering that everyone is scrambling, from the ghost of Christmas Never riding on a carriage, and the Scooby-Doo gang on skis, as well as Mr. Nickleby, Snowball, and Tina aboard a carriage to catch up with them. They even go through a lot of turns and twists and jumps, which is just so hilarious, seeing everyone from the Scooby-Doo gang to Mr. Nickleby, Tina, and Snowball on the carriage just go up that ramp. And this madcap chase all ends as the ghost of Christmas Never ends up being caught and is revealed to be none other than Nanette Musette. Apparently, it seems like her obsessive dusting was a cover to find out where the emerald was and wanted to steal it for herself because, as she stated, with the emerald, this could have been Christmas every day. So it seemed like she wanted the riches all to herself. Ergo, behind her seemingly sweet and innocent nature laid someone who was completely and utterly greedy. And it seemed that integral clue also made the Scooby Gang realize that the lapel was not WN for Winslow Nickleby, but rather NM for Nanette Musette. And since Tina also ended up saving Mr. Nickleby's cat Snowball from falling to certain doom, Mr. Nickleby, thanks to the actions of Tina as well as the actions of the Mystery Gang, ends up celebrating Christmas with Miss Featherwig and the kids from the orphanage, thus making this episode end on such a very cute, lovely, and absolutely wonderful note. So this Christmas special from Scooby-Doo, more specifically the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, managed to have a lot of great nostalgic value, and it also had that typical Scooby-Doo formula that worked well in its favor, especially when it pulled all the stops of this being the final episode of the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. When it came to the chase scene, everyone involved managed to heighten the tension, heighten the excitement, and of course the laughs. And all the characters were just as lovable. Even Winslow Nickleby, who started out as a mean curmudgeon, ended up turning into a much more human and nicer character, thanks to realizing just how much Snowball meant to him, and thanks to Tina saving him from nearly falling after being involved in this huge scuffle. So this was definitely a Scooby-Doo Christmas special that managed to hold up extremely well to this very day, And I definitely enjoyed the ride from beginning to end. It was exciting, it was fun, it was full of laughs, and it was also a fantastic episode all the way through. And if you are a hardcore Scooby Doo fan, you can never ever go wrong with the Nutcracker Scoob. And for those of you who caught the Nutcracker Scoob, what'd you think of it? Did you really enjoy the aerial ballet starring Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy as the Sugar Plum Fairies? Did you really enjoy the chase scene that ensued when it came to the climax of this particular episode? Or did you feel like there was something about it that just didn't really stick well with you? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's it for my tribute to the Nutcracker Scoob from the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. Tune in much later where, as I promised, I will take a look at a Scooby-Doo Christmas from What's New Scooby-Doo. So until then, happy holidays, everybody!